Hi, I am Alex Rich. I'm the Executive Director and Chief Curator here at the Polk Museum of Art at Florida Southern College, and I'm standing in our brand new exhibition called Edward Hopper and Guy Pendubois Painting the Real. They were both American artists, both born in the United States. Guy Pendubois was born in Brooklyn. Edward Hopper was born in Nyack, New York, and yet Guy Pendubois spoke only French for the first 10 years of his life. So he's truly Guy Pendubois. And they were both artists who were good friends. They studied at the New York School of Art under Robert Henry and William Merritt Chase. And this exhibition is the first time the two of them, close friends, so much that Guy Pendubois was the best man at Edward Hopper's wedding, the first time these two have ever been presented side by side in a museum exhibition. So this is dedicated to both of them and to luring in people who have one sense of Edward Hopper via something like Nighthawks, and they'll realize a different side of him, and for many of the others to be introduced for the first time to Guy Pendubois. And Guy Pendubois, surprisingly, was the better known artist in the first half of the 20th century than Edward Hopper was. And that's something that we hope to introduce folks to through this huge show with 65 works of art amassed over 4 years of planning.
Now, how did you discover Guy?
Well, actually, there's a little bit of a personal story behind this. I've known about Edward Hopper and Guy Pendubois my whole life, but actually I wrote my undergraduate thesis in college on Edward Hopper, and I wrote my graduate dissertation for my PhD on Guy Pendubois. So these are my personal research interests because based on the connection between the two artists, I always thought it'd be fun to explore them both in different ways at different points in my life, and we finally bring them together in this grand exhibition here at the museum.
Okay, what should people look for?
I think what's so interesting is looking for that story of the way that they were not together all the time, certainly, but they lived their lives somewhat in parallel. And they were really dedicated and ardent realists, meaning that they painted scenes and drew scenes of everyday life in the worlds they moved through, whether that's New York City or Paris, all throughout the first decades of the 20th century. But they stuck to realism even when other artists were moving into greater and greater abstraction. One of the other great stories here is that Guy Pendubois was an eminent art critic. So while he was celebrated as an artist, he was also celebrated as an art critic at the same time, whereas Hopper really stuck through to pure art making throughout his career. And so what we explore is, why is it that Guy Pendubois is lesser known to the public today than Edward Hopper is? And we try to seek that through the exhibition and through a really great array of objects that are on loan to us from some of the world's great institutions, like the National Gallery of Art, the National Portrait Gallery, the Whitney Museum of American Art, the Terra Foundation, Crystal Bridges, and wonderful works also from private collections across the country. So it's a really exciting exhibition, a lot of time and effort with teams here in Florida and with our collaborative partners, 501 Project in New York City. A lot of effort went into bringing this for everybody here in Polk County and beyond. And we hope people really get to enjoy this and meet artists that they may be familiar with and other artists that they may not be familiar with, and meet them in new ways.
When does this close?
So the exhibition runs through March 26th, so there's still plenty of time to come and enjoy it here at the museum, which is always free as well. So we never have to worry about having anybody be charged for the price of admission to enjoy great exhibitions like these.